Americans in Paris. It's a cliche. For better.
Bonjour, Paris!
Or for worse.
Ma fille américaine est là.
American artists have always seen France, specifically Paris, as a refuge. Writers, painters, musicians all went there to find new inspiration and appreciation. In Paris Blues, Ram and Eddie are two of those musicians who have found refuge in the city. Sidney Poitier plays expatriate jazz saxophonist Eddie Cook, and Paul Newman is trombone-playing Ram Bowen. For Eddie, Paris is a place to live free of the segregation and discrimination of America, a place where he can just be a saxophone player. And for Ram, it's a place where jazz music is respected and considered an art, and he, a popular artist. It's also a place where they can make an actual living. The two men romance two friends vacationing from America, Connie and Lillian, respectively. The movie was groundbreaking in the way it featured the openness of Parisian society. This is the very first scene in the movie. It opens the film. And showed Black characters as relatively complex people in a tender and gentle love story. The initial idea for the movie was to be even more groundbreaking. In his memoir, This Life, Poitier notes, "It should have been Joanne Woodward and myself, and Paul Newman and Diahann Carroll as love interests. Such an unconventional pairing at the time would have made a considerable impact in the business." But as much as Paris Blues is a movie about Paris and a romance, it's also a jazz movie. The movie also highlights the French embrace of jazz music and the way America devalues jazz and jazz musicians. And we get to see musicians at work. There is a joy in making music. The frustrations and achievements that come with writing, playing, practicing, jamming, and engaging with other musicians. When trumpet player Wildman Moore, played by Louis Armstrong, oh yeah, he's in this movie too, arrives in Paris, he's greeted by an orchestra and screaming, stampeding fans. It's like something you would expect to see for Elvis in the United States. Eddie describes himself and Ram and the other musicians as night people.
We are the night people, and it's a whole different world.
Their Paris is one of late-night clubs and jam sessions, midnight house parties, one a.m. meals at La Halle, a closed city and darkened streets. Connie and Lillian are day people. They've come to Paris for all of the things small-town girls come to Paris for: adventure, culture, sightseeing, and maybe, just maybe, the possibility of romance. They both have an immediate awareness of the type of freedom the city offers them, freedoms they could never find at home. And as day people, they drag Ram and Eddie, if only for a little while, into the light. Sightseeing, boat rides along the Seine, romantic walks, the left bank, parks and markets. Martin Ritt and cinematographer Christian Matras filmed Paris in crisp black and white, raw and romantic in its abstractness, and a romantic fever dream of a magical city where love blooms unexpectedly. But eventually the sun must set, all holidays must come to an end. And even if it was fleeting and bittersweet, for 12 days in Paris in the autumn of 1961, it was love. There are 8 million stories in the cinema cities. This has been one. Hey fellow cinema travelers, let me know down in the comments if you've ever fallen in love with or in Paris, or in love with Paul Newman and Sidney Poitier. I'll see you in the next city.